If you're looking for an easy-to-pack, flavor-heavy coffee solution that keeps the coffee hot when you're camping, check out the Press Coffee RT to Go by Bobble. It's small, self-contained, makes a great brew, and it's triple-walled. The Press to Go was given to me as a gift from a friend, and I love it. It's a 14-ounce tumbler that is really convenient for making coffee when you're at camp. Okay, it's also incredible for tea, but that's not my cup of tea. It's 14 ounces, so more than one solid cup. That's enough to sit down by the river at dawn and soak in the first foggy rays of sun and enjoy a long, relaxing start to the day. Full transparency, I don't really do that. For me, coffee is a great companion while I'm getting stuff done. I gotta make breakfast, right? I gotta organize camp, and obviously I need to check my phone. All kinds of important stuff for sure happening on my phone. That's a joke. Dish Outdoors lets you take your favorite HD entertainment with you. RVing, camping, even tailgating. Pick up a Wally HD receiver or two, choose your satellite antenna, find the perfect programming, and hit the road. There's no credit checks, no upfront fees, and the best part? You can pay as you go, only paying for the months you use. You don't need Wi-Fi, you don't need cell coverage. With Dish Outdoors, you get TV as flexible as your travel plans. Dial your family in with great entertainment by calling the Dish experts at 855-424-7389 or go to dishoutdoors.com/iHeartRVing. I've got this love affair with tumblers and mugs, which means I have too many, and each one has a very specific job, and that's strange, I know. It's fine when I'm somewhere that I can pack them all with me, but I've been trying to find ways that I can actually make great coffee and cut back on what I have to bring along. Typically, I've got my press, and this thing has seen many years of use, and then my bespoke Caribbean Rovers mug from a trip to Utah a few years ago. Unpack that. When I'm putting everything into my weekend kit, the traditional French press and tumbler take up a lot of space. That's where Press really shines. It's both in one compact unit. Okay, we have to talk about the coffee itself. Some people just want caffeine, no matter how it tastes. Some people want the morning ritual and something warm to drink. Some people live and die by the subtleties of the flavor in their roast. And when you're on the road, all sorts of logistics come into play, no matter what you like. I always buy whole beans, and in a perfect world, you would grind the beans just before brewing, but we're out on the trail and it's not a perfect world. So I just grind them ahead of time in my Encore at a 24 to 26 setting. That's perfect for the press, and you end up with a grind that looks about like kosher salt. The filter space acts as a measuring tool and holds roughly, about 3 ounces. With the Encore, that's about half a restaurant condiment dish of whole beans ground. But listen, it's coffee, it's not baking. There's a huge amount of room for not being precise. And at the end, it's gonna be good. To store the coffee, I use small Ziploc bags and put 1 brew's worth in each for every morning on the road. I fill a second bag for half the days I'm traveling in case I want to brew in the afternoon. The coffee game is huge these days, and there's all sorts of roasters across the country doing great work. I buy my beans from Driven Coffee in Chanhassen, Minnesota. To be clear, they aren't sponsoring this video. My daily drinker is their Awakening blend, and they've got all sorts of other roasts, blends, and single origin for you to check out and grow your taste. They also have incredible customer service, like over the top. Back to the press. You put your grounds into the tumbler itself without the filter segment in place. Pour in near boiling water, because boiling water actually changes the flavor. And then Bobble says to let it brew for 3 minutes, and that seems about perfect for my taste. When your timer sounds, put the inner press into the tumbler with the silicone top in place and pressed down. They say there's enough air escape in the 3 little holes at top, but I take the removable piece off as well, and it just gives more airflow. You gotta push the top down carefully. First few times that I did it, I really had to force it down, and you had to put so much pressure on it that it felt like it could tip over with all of that not boiling water inside. If there's one thing that isn't my favorite about the press, it's how hard I had to press those first few times. It doesn't seem to be working that way now. It's a lot looser, it seems to flow, and it's great, and I love it. No matter what, once it's down, you get great coffee. I keep the silicone top off for a bit and let the coffee cool because it really does stay hot. Remember, press is triple walled. So once the temp is where you like it, you put the silicone top back on and you're set. I leave the little flap off because it seems to make drinking more balanced, but you can also keep it on and just kind of turn it to the side. If you're carrying the press in the pocket of your camera bag or backpack, having that piece in place keeps the liquid inside. It really does make a difference, which is great. When it comes to cleaning, it's pretty easy too. You separate the tumbler from the inner press, you dump out your grounds in a responsible way. Separate the two, remove the beans, and then you can remove the filter basket by twisting it off. And then the whole thing is just a piece of cake to clean. You can see all the way through. And then you can put it back together and store it for the next day or for the next adventure. And the thing we look forward to most is, of course, the next adventure. Don't get me wrong. We need to live in the moment more than we do and enjoy our days as we live them. Wow, do they go by fast. And there's so much to love and remember. At the same time, we look forward to the next adventure and to coffee. Always coffee. For me, the two most notable features of the press are that it combines a tumbler and a coffee press into one without being too big or too small, and that the coffee is going to stay hot until long after you think that it could possibly stay hot. On top of that, the press looks stylish and modern. Like you could be a nerd in some crowds or on top of a trendsetter in others. The final tally, I'm giving the press 4.5 hearts. I took off half of a heart because at first it was so hard to press down. Maybe I should give that heart back. But whatever. If you enjoy true to roast coffee flavor, even when you don't have daily conveniences, the coffee or tea to go by Bobble delivers huge amounts of richness and depth. I love it. This YouTube channel is brought to you by iHeart RVing, the best RV and camping magazine in the history of RVing. Built by people who know what helps and how to have fun. It keeps you in the know. Subscribe for great tips, great stories, great photography, and even a great crossword puzzle.